Hello there, Wolf Tankers. Welcome back to another one of my videos. I am Blitz, and today I'm going to be going into the collector vehicles, especially one like the Smasher, which you're going to be seeing gameplay of in this video, and what should be done about the collector vehicle in the current state of the game. Because, as 80%, 90%, all of you should know, the Smasher is the most overpowered tank. Not as overpowered as the Keniyatsu, but I don't really count that as a threatening tank towards the game. But the Smasher is. It's a Tier 7 heavy tank with a 640 damage gun. Not to mention it has better, I'm pretty sure it's better dispersion, better aiming time. It's about the same speed as the SU-152. Not to mention it has more hit points, it has a turret, it has spaced armor, it has more armor. There's really not one bad thing I can say about the Smasher, to be honest. Not to mention, recently, Wargaming nerf'd the KV-2 for its high explosive penetration, but yet they left the Smasher the same. And you may be thinking, well, we all know about this, and the Smasher is overpowered, yes, but why are you talking about this in this video? Well, I was going to run the Standard B today. I didn't get the video up yesterday because I was busy, and I wanted to get the Standard B out today. But I was just getting the worst teams. I had a couple 4,000 damage games in it, but every game I played, the team just died. I'd get one shot by 183 at the end, or just some horrific death, and, you know, I was fed up with the Standard B, so I pulled out the Smasher just to have at least one fun battle. And you're going to see the next battle was the first game I played in it. This was actually the second game. I played 2 games in the Smasher, no joke, and these are the 2 games here, and just because of these 2 games alone, I decided to make a video talking about the current state of this collector vehicle in general in the game. Now, you can see, it's not got the best armor. It's sort of like a KV-2 that you just gave a little bit more, but look at this high explosive there. This high explosive didn't penetrate, didn't hit where I wanted it to on that IS, and still took 511 off him. And you may be saying, well, I just got pummeled by shell after shell, I'm at 90 hit points, but this VK misses his high explosive, which means now I'm going to pull out. You may be saying, well, why didn't you shoot the KV-2? Well, I know he has a super long reload, so I'm going to wait for him to pull around that corner. But back into the Smasher, you can see we've already done 1900 damage, and by any standards, that's a really, really good match in any tank. But this tank just goes so much further. Its gun, not to mention, I forgot to say, its heat pen is 250. And when you're a player like me, I run the calibrated, which brings it up to 275. Now, there are Tier 8 heavy tanks that premium ammo doesn't go that high. The T26E5 Sheriff only has 297 pen with its heat rounds when you run calibrated. That is just ridiculous how much heat penetration this tank has, judging that it can only play Tier 8s at max. Which means that, you know, if you're going up a tank like an IS-5 or a Tiger 2, you may be saying, well, the Tiger 2 is that buff tall armor. It's only about 250 thick in the upper plate, which means you load heat, you can still penetrate the entire upper plate of that Tiger 2 with the heat rounds on this tank. It's a Tier 7. I, to be honest, wouldn't mind if they had made this tank a Tier 8 premium, and every stat on it was the same, and they just gave it an extra 100 hit points. I still think the tank would have been overpowered. Or maybe not overpowered because it could play Tier 9s, but I would say it would still be a very, very respected tank at the tier. And it'd be a lot more fun to play, but you can see here, this P-43 misses a shot, HE in the side, 918 damage. Why? 3,558 damage. That was the first game I played in this tank. You can see it earns okay credits. I wasn't even running premium. I would have earned 60,000 credits, 3,500 damage, 4 tanks destroyed. We completely carried the team. Look how awful the team was. You look at this, 844 was the next highest damage, and I managed to do 3,500, pretty much one-shotting half their team. If I wasn't on this team and I was running any other tank, I can tell you for a fact we would have lost this match. But because I pulled out the Smasher, we were able to pull it off as a victory. Why haven't they nerfed it? That is my big question. And that's really the question I kept asking myself, is just why haven't they nerfed it? Everyone knows it's overpowered. Meadsy made a video, 20,000 people have watched that video by now. Seeing Meadsy say, this is a broken tank, it's one of the most broken tanks in the game. I would say this is the second most overpowered tank in the game, right behind the Kenny. And Meadsy made the video saying it's overpowered. You know, they've probably talked to Wargaming about it. Why hasn't Wargaming nerfed it? And I thought for a couple hours about this last night before I went to sleep. And, you know, I finally figured out, really, my opinion, I figured out what Wargaming's planning to do, and it's pretty sinister, to be honest, if you think about it. And what it is, you know, the Blitz Fair is coming up soon, and I'm going to be talking about the Blitz Fair very soon, about the tanks you want to keep an eye out for, tanks you want to pick up. But ignoring that, the Blitz Fair is coming out. It's already almost October, and Blitz Fair is in December. And as you guys know, and if you don't know, the Blitz Fair pretty much has all the premiums, and now it'll have probably collector tanks in the game ever released. And the overpowered ones, just all the tanks that you wish you picked up. The Object 252U will be in there, the Badger, probably all the Tier 10 premiums. All these tanks are going to be in the Blitz Fair. And what my big theory is that Wargaming is going to be selling the Smasher in the Blitz Fair, and it's going to be a really, really expensive price tag. The Smasher, I'm guessing, might be $100 to pick up, and it might be in a crate. It might be a lucky spin, like last year, how you had to spin the wheel to get the T-22. Maybe the Smasher's going to be in there, and you're going to have to keep spinning to be able to get that tank. And people will spend money to buy it. And I know some of you guys would love to spend $100 to pick up this tank. To be honest, I'd say it's almost worth $100 over any other premium in the game, just because it's so overpowered. And I think it's kind of disrespectful if Wargaming is planning to sell this tank at the Blitz Fair. You know, they haven't nerfed it because that they are planning to sell it for a ridiculous sum of money at the Blitz Fair. And then, to be honest, I'm thinking they might just nerf it right after the Blitz Fair, which would get a lot of people angry. But there's nothing they can do to argue against it. If people stop playing the game because Wargaming nerfed this after the Blitz Fair, to be honest, it's the player's fault for buying the tank. Because, again, when you think about it, the player that buys this tank, let's say you spend $100 on it, you know the tank's overpowered. And the tank should be nerfed, and I'm saying it should be. And Meadsy said it too. So all of the players that watch these videos and know the tank's overpowered, if they wait until an event like the Blitz Fair and they pick it up and then it gets nerfed, they really can't complain because we all said it's overpowered. And as we've known, collector vehicles can be nerfed for being overpowered. So to be honest, you know, Wargaming is smart to be doing something like this if they were going to sell the tank for a ridiculous amount of money and then nerf it right after, because I can't argue with them for doing that. It is a cheap move. It is a pretty sly move to do, but to be honest, I'd still think that would be a better idea, because I would rather have the tank being nerfed and have a lot of them running around than the tank being overpowered and only having a few running around. Because even if you have a few of them, I literally carried this entire match. It's a tier 8 match, and I was the best on the team by far. You know, 3,500 damage in a tier 8 match is good alone in a tier 8 premium or a tier 8 standard. And you're going to see here, I'm still having another shot, and I'm going to load the high explosive. I know where to shoot this guy. Boom. 946. 4,531 damage dealt this game. Now, doing 4,500 damage in a tier 10 is really hard to do, and most players might take them 2 hours to pull out a game 3,000. So the fact that I'm able to do 4,500 damage, and it doesn't even matter if you're a bad player, you can play this tank really, really overpowered. And it's just so broken in so many aspects. So when it does come out in the Blitz Fair, if it's more than $50, I really would urge not to buy it. And I really hope Wargaming just would nerf the tank in the next update. It'd be the easiest thing. It wouldn't cost anybody. It's literally the pressing of 4 buttons. But I think Wargaming is going to use the Blitz Fair to their advantage and sell it as some ridiculously overpowered, overpriced premium. Or not premium, should I say collector. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. This is just a theory. I don't want any of you guys to feel like this video was a scam or anything. But I hope you did enjoy it. As always, make sure to let me know in the comments down below if you did like it. If you didn't, smash that dislike button. Let me know why you didn't like it. Other than that, guys, so I hope you did enjoy this video. I'll see you in the next one.